Well, hello there. Welcome to the Earworms Halloween special. I'm your host, Lawrence W. Moore, the Wayfarer Project. I decided to put on pretty much the only garb I have anymore for Halloweening, and decided, well, tonight. Um, well, okay, I will say this: either great idea or bad idea, whichever one it's going to end up being. Just happened a few days ago, just an impromptu thing. It's Halloween. We should do a little bit of something. And what do we need more than anything else? I don't know, share some of our music and make sure folks are aware of our existence. And by our, I mean myself, my wife, Liza Sahido of the Psyche Opera Company, and Mr. Mike Gorley, Mike Mountain Hot Gorley, because we are some independent artists out there fighting the good fight, making some great music, and we need to share what we have with the rest of the world, and we're hoping the world likes us. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring on one of my guests.
Good
Here
evening.
we go.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mike.
Ah,
I see you put some effort into it as well.
a little bit.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be wearing this all night though, because I can't hardly talk.
yeah, I think I'll
But I
be.
thought I'd show my face early on and scare everyone away.
Well, there's not many to be scared at this point. Well, I mean, people aren't used to us doing something not on Sunday, and so we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll find some new folks that are out there, and
There you
that's
go. I can
always
always reappear.
always the hope. Now, we do not have an intro video for this young lady just yet, but we will be putting one together in the near future. But at least for now, we do have Liza Sahido from Psyche Opera.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Hello there.
hello, Mike. Hello, people. Sorry, I'm not on camera. I did a live stream earlier and I thought I was pretty dressed up for Halloween, but it just seemed like a normal day at work for me. So,
oh,
um,
we're dressed up.
well, you guys have captured the attention of some lurkers. We do have 3 people watching the stream, and one person has made themselves known to us, and
Oh,
hopefully they will see your magnificent costumes and decide, I gotta click on that video and see what the hell's going on. So
for
There
this
you
week
go.
only, we are appearing 1 hour earlier for the UK. That usually, we're coming on quarter past midnight tonight. We came on quarter past 11 p.m. So hopefully there'll be some folks in the UK
There you go. There you
still
go.
up. I mean, those are hopes. All we have are hopes and dreams right now. So anyway, I wanted to share something with the folks here tonight, and I think we're going to do it slightly differently than we normally do. Let's see if this way of sharing a video works out to be more effective than what I normally do. And because there is some music that shall be heard tonight. Now, it's not necessarily going to be scary music. In many ways, I think it's more important for us to share some music to help us become a little bit less scared than we normally are. I don't know about you guys, but I pretty much it's pretty heavy anxiety most days. I think the whole term anxiety and panic attacks are things that have been coming up lately because all of a sudden a lot of us are starting to have them. And I don't know. I think we need a little bit of relaxation. So we're not going to be scaring you too much tonight. We're going to try to see if we can find some relaxation for you.
Absolutely.
If not, just explorative music. Now, here's a piece that I would like to share with you. And it's a beautiful title, and it has beautiful video and music. And here we go. All right, folks, that was A New Arrival by Mike Mountain Hawk Gorley.
Yeah, and let me just say that expounding on what you were talking about earlier, that is pretty much my whole goal with music is, it's a fast-paced world out there. Slow things down, a little bit of relaxation, maybe some meditative stuff. Sometimes I cross the line. I call it chaos music.
Yeah.
And because I'm very experimental, and sometimes I'll set out to do something meditative or mellow, and it turns out to be totally weird. But this particular video, I wanted to get away from the fractal stuff for a minute and all the psychedelic stuff. And this song actually, I used a program for any nerds out there.
Oh, I was going to ask about that. Yeah, nerd
Yeah,
ears.
it's a program. I really like it. I use it quite a bit. It's from a company called Sonic Culture, and it's called Geosonics 2. And basically, gosh, I should have looked this up. If you look it up, there's a guy he's real famous for field recordings. So he got together with Sonic Culture, took this big library of field recordings, and they basically implemented it into this program. So, you have forest sounds, whale sounds, birds, all kind mixed in with these electronic stuff. And it's really cool. You can find out more about it there, so I don't take the whole evening up with it. But anyway, also, if you have, and this was me learning a little bit more about native instruments and their keyboard, there's a function you can actually, it's like chords, and I think I use the harmonizer on it, and you can actually kind of pick a key. So this is actually in the key of D in a Hungarian mode.
Nice.
So this is, and I'm also very much an improv artist, which means it can go really good or really south. So I thought this went really good, so I pursued the video. So that's kind of where this one came from.
I really enjoyed the piece, very uplifting, and the footage included was very endearing and so forth.
Yeah,
so I'm at your channel here, and there's one problem that we got to fix, and that problem is only 90 subscribers, folks.
Yeah, we need more subs on Mike Gorley's channel, people. So if you can click on that subscribe button, that'll help us all out a lot.
Yeah.
So I see you have some playlists now where a number of your works are arranged together. What do you have here that might help with a bit of the relaxation?
Well, let's see here. Well, the singing bowls, definitely.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll be checking this out later.
Yeah, this is primary instruments. A lot of people have liked my sitar, so I've tried to make some more of those.
Yes.
There's a category there.
Yeah.
Then you got, the Mike Mountain Hawk Gorley back down there is like all of them, or most of them. But you got Dombra, Dutar, you got the Native American flute. So if you like the flute music, so you really got to kind of check my stuff out. Then you got guitar, ukulele. Now I have been putting, if you look on the right, the one that says Mountains is my latest digital release that I have on Bandcamp that's doing horrible. But it's sad because, I think, it's probably the best. There's other things on there, and I think it's one of the best things I've done as far as, and if you know me, and you guys know me a little bit, but if I'm actually pleased with something I do.
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly don't take it at all personally, because the way these independent artist mechanisms work out, and Bandcamp included, is most of the people that go there are artists that are trying to promote their works.
And that's who
not a lot of listeners, not a lot of audience there. It's mostly other people doing the same thing you do.
And I also the people that I have a Patreon site, and the people that are patrons do get this. So they're not going to go to Bandcamp and buy it because I give it to them on there. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
the people that seem to like my music really like it. So it's just getting it out to more people who maybe like it, because I guarantee you, even if you buy something off me, the money I got invested in instruments and everything else, I'm not making what it is when somebody buys something or becomes a Patreon. For me personally, it's not a big ego thing. It's just, for me, it's a feel good, and it says, wow, somebody liked my music enough to actually pay money or subscribe and pay, $2 a month to Patreon, whatever, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm not about the ego or the, big, I'm not going to be a big rock star doing improv instrumental music. you know
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I love what I do, and I want to share it, and I think the world, that's why a new arrival, I mean, yeah, we're all sitting on pins and needles this week, so we don't know what's going on, either direction. So
Yeah. Well, we try
need
to
some optimism.
yeah, we try to avoid that
Yeah, I'm
as
not
much as
going there.
possible because
I'm just saying.
because it seems like there was something that happened in 2020 that kind of changed my view on everything. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there's some
Right.
things that are going to happen no matter who's there, that
Oh
it's
yeah, most
part of the
definitely,
plan.
and that's why. Yeah, I'm not trying to get political, or I'm just saying either way, we have some uneasy times, and people really need to just chill out on both sides of the tracks and relax.
Exactly. Chill out on
Yeah.
both sides and come together
Yeah,
because
for,
we're gonna need each other during these hard times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
United we stand,
because
divided we fall.
all of
Exactly.
us are pretty much going to be going through this situation where there are some pretty powerful people in the world that have been announcing for a while that in the year 2030 we're going to own nothing but we'll be happy,
Oh yeah,
and
okay.
there's plans of making that happen, and it's like, hello folks. um there's people that have the power to try and make this happen, and whatever puppets in the White House is just going to be there just to get people to kind of go along with
Exactly.
it.
We shouldn't fight over who's in the White House and let that divide us. No way.
No, it's not, and it's not worth it. And I've had people say I got to pick sides and all that. I'm like, well, just I guess you'll have to just put a bullet in my head, because I'm not going to live in fear, and I'm not going to pick sides, and I'm not going to go get guns and shoot people. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to make music, and if you don't
That's
like it, I guess
right. Music,
I'll
we'll can we just all come together and just make music and
yeah,
enjoy each other and not fight over
It's a
stupid.
short life.
It is. It is. And so
right.
we're just gonna focus on what we wanna do, what we wanna build, um, and making connections with other talents like yourself and collaborate and live the best life we can live in this realm. So
There
Well,
you
that
go.
being said, I'm going to share another little bit of something here. I got to get my radio, though. That I did mention that in the title. We're going to do a little electronic voice
yes,
phenomenon.
ghost hunting
But
on the
while I'm
radio.
doing that, I think I can play a little something here. Da, 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 dun, da, da.
What? What it
Dun, da, da, da,
Oh, no.
dun,
Are we
da,
talking
da,
about
da.
copyright stuff? Oh, no.
No, no, no. We're not going to
I
play.
thought, yeah, I thought you were going to play some of your music there, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why all of a sudden.
Yes, good.
Okay, so that was a piece entitled Angel Wing. I believe that goes back to 2010.
Wow.
Yep. Hey, for us nerds out here, what did you use to make that?
Well, the music itself was pretty much recorded sounds of me tapping on speaker stands that had this metallic ringing sound.
Ah,
I basically recorded a bunch of clips of that and then transformed them in a software called Spear that allows you to do fast Fourier transfers and separate sound out into its component sine waves, whether they be partials or harmonics. And so did a lot of distorting and playing with that. And the video was originally made using a software called processing, which is like a programming environment. And basically, I had it control place like semi-randomized textures based on some grass, leaves, wood, and other elements that I just kind of had it distribute randomly and colorize a little bit differently, and then afterwards I brought that into Sony Vegas and went to town back in the day with all the filtering and stuff that provided. So
Nice.
anyway,
Nice. I remember Spear. Is that still freeware?
yes, it is. It's for Mac or Windows. Unfortunately, there's no version for Linux.
Linux.
Nah.
Well, it's really cool. And I was surprised when you said 2010, so I figured it was more recent.
No, recently I've mostly been kind of making ideas, not fully formed pieces. It's kind of strange, but pretty soon, I mean, this autumn, I'm feeling the whole fall and nature aspect of it, and I really do want to make some music happen, so I'll be doing it. And whatever comes out is whatever comes out.
Yeah, well, you do really good with that VCV rack. I'm still my problem is with all the things that I do, finding time to do things. So, and I'm not.
Well, you apparently do, because I usually see about 2 or 3 new pieces each week from you.
Well, here's the thing of that. Yeah, usually I'll make a whole lot of videos, and I've kind of slowed down a little bit because I've got such a backlog of them coming out. I've got videos like 2 or 3 a week till the end of the year. So,
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
yeah,
That's
I'm pretty
super
backlogged.
prolific.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'd like to come up with some new ideas and things. So, I mean, I know I'm into the whole psychedelic thing, but even though I don't do them, or no, but actually, truth be told, yeah, people say that. I had somebody at work say I was going to get drug screened because I have without launching into my whole thing, I have a security clearance, so I can get random anytime. So until I retire, I got to be good.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could drink a little, but I drank enough in my earlier years. In fact, on Halloween 1984, I quit drinking and some other things. But
Wow.
so, yeah, I
Wow.
really don't have much desire to be drunk. That probably comes from watching
No.
other people. But hey, to each their own, But anyway, some people probably do watch the videos and go, "Wow, this guy's whacked out on drugs." No, actually, I'm not.
You
Well,
have
I'm
a
at the
natural drug that
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
you can't, you can take the drugs out of the hippie, but not the hippie out. It's something like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm at the point in life where I don't need added special effects. Sometimes just being, I don't know, because I do have anxiety issues and stuff, and sometimes just normal and calm is really just great for me.
Absolutely.
I don't need outer entertainment other than the music that I make and behold, such as pieces like this. And this is not by me. This is by Mr. Mike Mountain Hawk Gorley. Well, there.
Well, there.
That
That was cool.
Got
that's a
some
meal.
worms in at the end. Cheers to Adam Gray and
Yes, Adam
Yay.
Barbara
Gray
Lawrence.
and
Hello,
Barbara
hello.
Lawrence, good friends of ours. I'm not sure what they're doing for Halloween, but you better believe something's going on there.
Treats, please, says Adam.
I just gave you a bunch of worms, man. What more do you want? So
Yeah.
So I can't get as nerdy on that video. I discovered a while back, and I guess this was one of them. Usually, I am one of these meticulous list people, as my wife says. I keep recording logs of everything that I use, how many tracks, yada yada yada. And apparently, somehow I thought I copied it onto my main list there, and somehow I lost some of them. Obviously, there's a Native American flute in there, and some synths, and some singing bowls. And that little kind of almost sounds like bells is actually Eventide makes some really cool plugins. And they make one called Octavox, which basically, multiplies stuff. So that little ding, 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 ding is just me hitting a singing bowl and running it through that Octavox.
Nice.
Oh,
which
wow.
makes that really cool sound. Yeah, and those little crystal sounds at the end is Eventide's. It's called crystals. Imagine that. So yeah, so you can take singing bowls or whatever and do some very interesting things.
Nameless, no name. Yes. It's been, I guess it'll be in January or February, probably about a year since Nameless One has found this channel. Been a very good supporter in the comments section, and
well,
it's
good.
Great
Welcome.
to see you. Great to see
Thanks
you
for
out
listening.
there. Sometimes support doesn't need to be anything in any way financial. It's just helping with the algorithm here on YouTube to get more people to discover our work.
A kind word. Well, can I subscribe twice to you? Will that help? I mean, you're getting near there. I saw that, and I've got a long way to go. But
well, the tutorials do help. The tutorials do help, but something this week somehow has slowed everything down, like the subscriber count. I've been getting comments from people watching my tutorials and stuff, but it's interesting how the subscriber count sometimes that YouTube just seems to turn that off or whatever.
Oh, well, they need to turn mine on, but I keep hoping that somehow I'm gonna slide into this, algorithm mode and explode. But years ago, I used to post a lot of hiking videos, and somehow I got in with the bushcraft crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was really wild, and I'm getting all these bushcraft guys, and I'm not. I mean, I really envy them. These are survival guys, but and some of them were really cool. I check out their channel. Others were kind of a little off the charts. They had bunkers, and it's like, oh, the end of the world stuff. But anyway, I would love to, hit some algorithm that suddenly, pushes me. Because quite frankly, and you're the one that taught me that if you get 100 views, they start tagging ads on there. But until you get 1,000 subscribers, they don't pay, is what I understand.
Yeah, right. And then
you're getting close. I'm a long ways. So right now, I would just like to get 100 people for the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are different tiers, and the 100, and then eventually 500 subs.
Right.
You can actually do a bit more, and I'm pretty sure your watch time is probably pretty good. It's just hard on music channels, period, because for music, even though there's more independent artists than ever before on the face of this planet, and there's more abilities to make some great music happen, it's still, there's something about the industry that still has like a solid hold on things, in the fact that most human beings are not searching for music other than what they maybe have already heard of. and what passes the airwaves and what gets promoted, and a lot
Right.
of those aren't even.
Well, people tend to love what they're familiar with, and I think, I don't remember what language, the whereas the word love and know are the same word. Um, and what the advantage that well, n what the people that are backed by the machine have over the rest of us is, um, you know, ads and mass media just pushing them and people becoming more familiar with them and, not really open to anyone who
And
is
much
a
of it has
stranger.
nothing to do with music or anything either. It's just
No.
like,
Well, a lot of people are not
celebrities.
into instrumental music either. So, I know
Mhm.
people, and of course, one of my favorite bands, and they're way underrated, is considered The Source, and they're all instrumental, but they won't sell out and do other things, and they have a good audience. They make a living doing what they do, and
That's
to me,
what's
that's
important.
successful.
Yeah.
But I mean, those guys are utterly ridiculously top notch, at their instrument and knowledge. And another thing a lot of people are, into is they think fast is better. Well, that guy's really fast. He must be great. And and I don't take anything away from people because I'm not. And, so I try to be creative. I realize I'm not super fast. I want to, so my art is my creativity and using different instruments. But there's a lot of people that play really fast, and I go, well, they're a great guitar player, but I don't sense any spirit, or it doesn't move me in any way other than they're blinding fast.
Mhm.
Yeah, I felt that way at least when I was in music school. There are incredible technicians that lack artistry,
Yes.
and then there are incredible artists that lack technical ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the cool thing about technology these days is that people that lack technical ability can still manifest great works of art. And so, yeah, yay for technology.
Yeah, yeah, if you use it in the right way,
Exactly.
and in that video as well, don't have I don't know where I put a drum kit, but that's the one instrument I really don't play, so I don't use them a lot. I try not to overuse them, but every now and then I like to use stuff, but I don't like to go. As a matter of fact, I took most of the drum loops off of my DAW because I don't want to put something together with a bunch of loops. I'd rather be creative. And I've got programs that have Indian drums and Middle Eastern stuff, and so I like to kind of take those and try to do something interesting. And again, sometimes I go, wow, that really sucks, I'm not going to use it. And other times, I'll use it, like that one. But if you notice through the video, there's all kinds of changes in that drum. So it's not just the continuous loop thing.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I don't, like I said, I don't like to do too much of that because I don't want to piss off all my drummer friends. But
Yeah, but I remember, like, in the early '90s, there was a style that was, used by a drummer by the name of Manu Katché, who played with Peter Gabriel, and,
oh wow, that's
just
heavy.
this world music drumming that was really good. He also collaborated with Gabriel on an album by Robbie Robertson. Um, if you remember Robbie Robertson at
Oh
all,
yeah, heavy duty. Yeah,
he went Native American in his music,
yes he did.
after the band, and there were some collaborations there. There
Great
was
album.
something about the '90s sound of, world music and drumming, and, just like a hopefulness about it. And,
Oh yeah.
it's almost like, what happened? Now that we're here in the
And with you,
future.
yeah, with YouTube now, you have so much access. It's like me taking these Dahmer lessons off Gabriel to consider the source. It's like, he's all the time. I'll be like, so who do I need to listen to? And I've kind of went back to the guitar with him because I realized, I said, I miss my guitar. I haven't really been playing my guitar much. And, and I want to do different things. But so I've been, I was inquiring about some of the Middle Eastern phrasing and stuff like that. So, I was like, who do I need to listen to? Because that's exactly what he says. You need to listen. But
Yep.
it's all over out there, and there's so much great music. And whenever somebody says, "Oh, you grew up in the '70s, there was great music, and there's nothing today," I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I can't keep up with it."
Yeah,
Right.
you just got to look for it, and
Yeah. Go
it's
beyond what's being served.
yeah. And in
Yeah.
a lot of cases, that's just celebrities doing stuff, not really musical anyway.
Oh
Yeah.
man, there's some
Um,
heavy stuff. Have you heard that Mongolian band, the
oh
Hue?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
lord,
Adam
man,
Gray is a big fan of that.
crazy man. Oh yeah, they're good.
Yeah. Well, we're going to share a little something here that also involves Liza a little bit.
Yay.
This is a
Oh,
piece where
yeah.
I composed the music and she did the video for it. And this is from back in
Oh,
2010. Again, we were very prolific
Oh,
then.
we're gonna get some
yes.
psyche opera stuff.
Now, well, not
Well, psych
exactly,
opera visuals at least.
Okay.
but the thing is, it's called Snapdrive, and it basically uses artifacts generated by resyncing a wavetable a lot, which then transformed it into the frequency spectrum. But its name is Snapdrive. So at first, if you're wondering where's the music, you got to listen a little more closely with this one. And here we go. Whoa, that's Mike again.
I
Here we go.
was like, you took my stuff.
Listen for the snaps. Well, there we go. Snap drive.
And now
Wow.
return control of your computer to you.
Yes.
I haven't thought of that piece in a long time. Wow.
I was just
One of
wondering
my
if somebody just tuned in.
It's like, what
You
is
did
going
good.
on here? Hmm.
So was Kraftwerk any influence on you at all in the?
I don't know to say how much. I mean, yeah, definitely.
Little bit. I
I
mean,
listened to.
I don't know. Kraftwerk popped into mind, and maybe an early Moog experiment.
Yeah,
It
well,
was really good.
this just kind of happened. I basically was working with C Sound, which is basically like
Oh, sea sound.
yeah,
Ooh.
it's all code,
Ah.
and basically you can either render out waveforms using all sorts of operators, at synthesizers, but it's all text and numbers. It's all code,
Oh,
that you type in, and also you can use it in real time, where the software could be running in real time, and you're feeding MIDI or some other things. In this case, I basically used just a MIDI controller just to control the resyncing of the wavetable, and the each time it resynchronized, there'd be a snap, and so I basically just gradually made those snaps be like almost like rhythmic hits towards the beginning as they build up, and then eventually they become so fast that they were almost like a tone in and of itself, when really it was just increasing the frequency of that sync table reset. And so it just kind of happened from there. And I basically recorded that music, and then Liza took it and uh, made the video for it. And I think what she had originally was just about 7 seconds worth of footage driving back from the Florida Keys
Yep, that's it. Just
wow.
on US 1, I guess.
Yep, on US 1. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Before you could see the highway, my first thought was, kids, stay out of dark alleys. But the highway came in, and I thought, oh, serial killer on the highway. But no, you did a great job with that. That was really cool.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, it was kind of a ride for me, that piece.
Literally.
Yes, quite literally. Yeah. Yeah. And
Well, folks, I do have this radio here, but I think I'm gonna try that in a moment. We're gonna do one more um, Mike Orley offering here. These are all new works. The first one was that we saw this evening was A New Arrival, and the more recent one that we saw was called Beneath the Sacred Earth, with the drumming and everything. And now we're going to behold Call from the Depths of Atlantis. Yes, Mike Gorley went there.
Yeah.
Here we go. All from the Depths of Atlantis.
Mike, that was really cool.
Well, and I'm glad I have my notes from that one.
Yes.
Because that one is quite intense. Obviously, you have the sitar in there, which I'm playing a sitar. So, but
Nice.
that is based on an actual raga, but that translates into a C sharp minor pentatonic scale, and which is what the flutes are. I used two flutes. I used a maple single flute, that's C sharp, obviously, and then a mahogany harmony drone flute. So a drone flute is also in there. So you have two flutes, and if you notice the like whale type sounds in there, I have a 20-inch gong that's actually, I tested it. It pretty much is C sharp. So, but
wow.
if you take, and you got to buy the specific, you don't use the big gong thing, but they're like kind of rubber like. But if you, and I watched the video, and so I got these because, if you kind of rub them on the gong, it makes these wild, like whale type sounds. And so that's what that is in there. And you also have some Himalayan cymbal little bells that are actually C sharp. So, and a singing bowl that I have that's C sharp. So anything I had C sharp, grabbing it, putting it in there. And then I use Native Instruments, the India thing, to get a little bit of tabla stuff in there. But
was it difficult to get the sitar in C sharp?
Well, now you just tune that into that. That's a standard. That's Ravi Shankar tuning.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what Ravi Shankar tuned in C sharp. So the guy I got this off of, because I did a lot of research, and I found this place called Rain City Music. I think they're out of Oregon or Washington. I think Oregon though. But anyway, this guy actually sells quality sitars, because my first sitar I bought years ago off of eBay for a couple $100, and I knew it wasn't great, but I mean, it didn't tune up very well and yada yada yada. But there's two styles of tuning, and he did this one in the Ravi Shankar, so it's C sharp.
Wow.
Yeah, the percussion samples were really good. You're saying that those were Native Instruments?
Native Instruments, their India program, which has a whole lot of stuff. So, and essentially, like I said, I don't. You can do just simple loops, but I try to kind of combine some things, and it's amazing what you can do with the keyboard now.
Yeah, it sounds better, I think, having it sound like there's actually a musician there playing it. I mean, of course, it's you, but
yes,
I mean, in the imagination, you get the sense of real musicians playing together.
In my youth, I thought it was because I've been into Indian music since I was a teenager and first heard George Harrison, yada yada. But so I listened to Ravi Shankar and all kinds of other people, and I was always fascinated with the tabla. So I thought I was probably in my 30s. I don't know. I bought a set, and then I found out it is considered the hardest drum to play on the planet. It is very, very, very intricate. So, I ended up eventually, I sold them to a guy that was putting together some little studio for special needs people. And I thought that was really cool. So, I hope you get more use out of it, because I suck. But now I do play, and you might have seen some videos that have come up. I do actually play a hand pan drum. That I do actually play that. So I have limited percussion skills, but
yes, Stitch prefers D flat, and so I'm saying it's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
But
I'll put it D flat next time.
Yeah. I like sharps somehow. As I guess as a saxophonist, I'm more accustomed to sharps. And
I'm a big fan of B sharp.
And C sharp is pretty cool because everything's sharp.
Elijah got that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know B sharp. Well, if you really take that,
sharp too. I love it.
if you take it to that level, I mean, basically you have 5 double sharps in that key.
Well, yeah, man, you can get, I'm still working on. Gabe said he'd be on with us sometime. Yeah, you could talk all kinds of microtonal stuff with him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
some of them Turkish instruments, and yeah, those people are downright serious.
Yeah, in the future, we actually have Gabriel Marin or
Marin,
Gabriel Marin or
yeah.
Marin, however he prefers to pronounce it, of Consider the Source, will be coming on Earworms. We'll just
Yay!
be working out the
Ooh.
day that works best for him.
Yeah, and I'm going down to Asheville to see the bass player in his band, and he has a synth player. We probably ought to get him on there sometime.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd
Well,
probably be happy
yeah.
to do that. He's got all kinds of synths, so
Well,
from
for
Moog
tonight, we
to,
just decided to get on and hang out, and we're glad that folks have joined us. Stitch and
yes.
Scott, Nameless One, Adam and Barbara stopped by. They're probably working hard on EV Mux right about now, the streaming platform that they intend to be using for B-roll stage and B-sides. And Friday is already here. Tomorrow's Friday, so it's another
Yes.
event at B-roll stage. Folks, do check them out. I'll be there dropping in the chat a little bit while I work on slides for Blade Runner, which we're doing Sunday, and the Vangelis score for Blade Runner. So it'll be interesting. And we have one more piece to share with you, but just so this doesn't end up being like clickbait, with this EVP, I'm going to try this out here just a moment. Here, let me go on screen here. And, well, what the hell? There we go. Here we go. I got my shortwave radio here. Let's see if we can
Nice.
scan the electromagnetic spectrum here a bit. Disembodied jazz.
Whoop.
It's hard to find radio stations anymore.
Disembodied, that fits with the whole theme tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, too much of a real voice. That's a living. Let's see here. Whoop. Jump over that stuff. All right, well.
They put together this contract for Carolina last weekend. They ended up raising $24 million.
Uh-oh. The ghosts are raising money. $24 million. All right. What the hell?
Convinced them that it was all right to offer an auction. It was.
Okay.
Nobody knows where we're going. We ain't
No.
Country ghosts.
La, la,
Okay.
la, 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 la.
Lawrence, Nameless No Name has a good suggestion. He suggests that you ask the ghosts a question and then scan the radio for the answer. Woo!
Okay.
I got a
Nameless
bust
No
that.
Well, I should try to put this also on something like AM. This is where you hear. All right. Disembodied spirits, we are here tonight to see if you have anything to say. In fact, I've been prompted to ask a question. And so I think my first question for disembodied spirits would be, what is your quest?
What?
What is your quest?
1,900,000,000 in units.
I heard 900 million.
Santana, hacemos contacto en vivo en directo hacia la más oriental de nuestra provincia.
I like this stuff. Pieces of music with these types of stuff.
Ew, that's a bit creepy.
Well, he turned them all sideways.
Well, anyway, I like to work with noise art. And
I was going to say, didn't Radiohead do something like that? They'd take the radio and he'd bring it out to the mic and play stuff.
quite
I seem to remember that.
probably did. But what we're going to do is I have a
Ooh.
piece on that. And this is actually a piece called Spectral Voices in the Light, because the
Ooh.
electromagnetic spectrum, even radio waves, are light. It's not visible light, but it is in the light spectrum. So, yeah, folks,
Yay.
when we are tuning into the radio, we are tuning into the light somewhere. Oh, I forgot to ask you about Atlantis.
Oh, yes.
The last piece about the call from Atlantis.
Uh-huh.
So what do you think about the Atlanteans? Were they friendly folk, or do you think they got into a little bit of that old religion stuff that, some
Well,
of
I'm
it
sure
was
they were violent.
Okay.
Every race throughout history seems to be violent. We're just violent.
Mm-hmm.
Cain killed Abel. There, we've been violent from the beginning.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I say. Damn. Really?
Yeah. So that's a call from Atlantis, all right.
Yeah,
So anyway, here we go.
Did themselves in.
Spectral Voices in the Light. And this will be our last musical presentation for the evening.
The encore.
Oh, that's Snap Drive again. The heck is going on here, folks? Yes, we do have somebody who should not be streaming running a stream. But I have it here.
There we go. Encore.
It'll work this time. Okay, there. Folks, I will say electronic voice phenomena should be treated as something better than what we treated as earlier with me playing with the radio there. because you find some disembodied spirits, don't treat them like a circus show. But if you find some freaky stuff on the radio, you can treat that like a circus show. Why not? But anyway, that piece was, this shortwave radio that I have here with me, and I recorded like 2 tracks of scanning the dial, and then I did pitch shifting with it and a little bit of delay, but that's about it. Most of it was pure radio beauty. So anyway, we are getting to a point in the evening where I know Mr. Mike Gorley is going to need to retire to bed.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Overtime tomorrow
Ooh, Mike.
and Saturday.
Yikes, Mike.
But I'll see you Sunday.
Wow. You have a hardcore schedule, Mike.
He
Truly.
works hard for the money.
Oh, yeah.
So hard for the money. But, it's an impromptu
They
thing.
quit spending it, buying all these music things.
Yeah, well, you know what we should do is at some point do an exchange where I'll record some musical idea, give it to you, and you can make something out of it. You can record a musical idea for me, and I'll take that, transform it, and make something out of that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Alex are supposed to do that, and he was talking about that, doing a collaboration.
And who's Alex?
Alex. Isn't that his name? Alex? Shoot, what's his last name?
Petty? Alex Petty?
Petty, yes.
Oh, yes,
Oh, yeah.
Alex. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I would love to see a collab between the two of you, both of
Yeah.
you.
So
Please.
yeah, I got to get back with him. We started it, but I was kind of busy at that time, so I think I've overstepped my couple weeks, but time flies.
Yeah, let me see here. I think I could call up his channel, youtube.com/@
If you see this later, Alex, I haven't forgotten.
music.
Yeah, he's very, very talented.
Yeah, guys, please go check out Alex Petty's
I have
channel
it here
on YouTube.
so people can
Sub.
see it.
There you go.
Yes.
Alex Petty Music is what it's called, and it's everything spelled as one would expect. And he has some great covers on here.
Some great originals too.
And originals, yeah.
Yeah, that U2 cover he did, I was like, I actually liked it better than U2. But that's
Running
me.
to Stand Still. That's familiar to me.
Yeah, that's the U2 cover he did.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was. Oh, I have the volume down.
So she woke up from where she was, lying still. She said, I gotta do something about where we're going. Stepped on a steam train, out of the driving rain, maybe run from the darkness in the night. Singing la 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 day, la 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 day, la la day.
All right, there we go. That would be a good.
Bono, watch out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alex. Wow, incredible vocalist, incredible producer. Mister, is there a way you could tag him on the stream so that he knows that we gave him a nice shout out?
Well, I left him a comment.
yeah, you should see
Oh, yeah.
that. Yeah,
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, he's more likely
Give him a
going to
comment
see
and a
that.
like.
But I invited him to come on sometime because
Yes.
we could do a
Oh, that'd be great.
we could feature some of the stuff he's doing because he's also explored some very interesting things about the fractalization of nature and the sound frequencies, and he utilizes a middle C that is what is it, 256 hertz.
Oh, wow.
You know, basically like going down the it basically makes A440 closer to A432, but here the purpose is more of like dealing with the fractalization of nature. And, you know, with C being 256, it's like that's a powerful number as far as like the power of two system. And, you know, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, you know.
Stitch, we're definitely going to get him on Earworms, and he's such a talented guy.
Oops.
So.
Oh yeah. Well, just I don't know if you're seeing this. Oh, that's another tab. But yes, folks, also do check out not only Alex Petty music, but tomorrow night, Friday Rituals will be Friday Rituals. We're going to be there in B-roll stage, listening to what the folks are doing. I think Babs and Adam will be featuring another great film of maximum import in the universe, and they will be commenting on it.
Eraserhead, welcome.
And they will be, I think, trying out EV Mux for the first time. That's a platform we're also going to try out on Sunday when we do Blade Runner here. So it'll be interesting time seeing how I've played it a lot with EV Mux. It looks like it'll work out well for us. But yeah, the Wave things started working and stuff, and I'll still have it as a backup for the weekend just in case things don't work out. But yeah, like the audio levels, we can't really control them in Wave. There's something about it. It doesn't let you turn off the auto gain adjust, and I know that
hidden.
Yeah, and somehow, like every time Mike comes on, it's like he doesn't have sound for a while, and then somehow it just happens, and there's no explanation. So we got to work on that.
Oh, cool bean, Stitch. Thanks for
one of these days,
supporting.
maybe I'll figure it out.
Yep, Stitch. Well, we appreciate Eraserhead, Stitch, Scott H, Nameless One, all the folks that joined us here on this very impromptu evening. I mean,
yes,
right now these people could be in costumes gathering candy throughout the neighborhood. You know?
Instead, they're here to receive no less than one meatball.
One meatball. All right.
Are you gonna play it, Beans? Or?
Oh, I don't have it ready yet, but I've been promising people that I'll get the cover of one meatball together, and I have been working on it. A little man walked up and down. So I'm getting that ready.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Well, just so you know, Mike, should we show it the famous rendition that this all comes from?
Wait, well, there's more than one rendition of one meatball on YouTube.
Oh, I know, but this is where we heard of it from our friends at B-Roll Stage. It's Candido, one meatball.
One meatball.
And yeah, Mike, before you go to bed, it's probably good that you hear this.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's cool.
I founded the Brownsville Preparatory Institute to provide an education tailored to each child's unique needs.
I'm trying to full screen
A little man walked up and down, and found an eating place in town. He looked the menu through and through to see what 15 cents could do. One meatball, one meatball. He could afford but one meatball. He told the waiter near at hand a simple dinner he had planned. The folks were startled, one and all, to hear that waiter loudly call, one meatball. One meatball. Hey, this here gent wants one meatball. The little man, he felt ill at ease and said, some bread, sir, if you please. The waiter's voice roared down the hall, you get no bread with one meatball. One meatball. One meatball. You get no bread with one meatball. The little man, he felt mighty sad. 'Cause one meatball was all he had. Now in his dreams he hears that call, you get no bread with one meatball. One meatball.
This guy's out of hand.
One meatball. You get no bread with one meatball. One meatball.
Ay, ay, ay.
One meatball. You get no bread with one.
Ay.
All right, there we go.
Ay.
Well, I tell you, I've under this has transformed me. I feel like somehow changed. I don't know what.
Oh, look. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, trick or treat.
Yes, folks, that
Yes.
was Candy Candido performing One Meatball. Basically a voice actor and is able to do a lot of different things with his voice and
Oh my gosh.
make it sound musical as well.
Virtuoso.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't know if I can keep up with that. So, and I probably scared the shit out of people. So, back to my usual self. There we go.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining us this evening. We need to
Thank you.
We need to make sure that Mike Gurley gets his rest. It's an overtime day tomorrow and Saturday, and man,
Got to rest up for Sunday, man.
you need those opportunities. At the same time, they can wear you down.
Yep.
But anyway, folks, thanks for joining us.
Y'all
We
come back
are,
now,
yeah. On Sunday we are going to be with Jay again, and
Yay.
Adam might stop by the chat or something like that. They're still friends of the channel, but taking a little time away from being a host in addition to his own stream. So, but the family will be here for Blade Runner and the music of Vangelis. It'll probably be a multi-week thing because there's. I'm not going to do a slide through of every single thing that happens in the film. It'll mostly be highlighted moments, but there's a number of them. And if I'm going to be covering Vangelis with enough detail, we'll need to present some other works and everything.
I have yet to see Blade Runner as well, so I got.
I have not either. Maybe I might fit it in between now and then.
Well, don't worry. You can you can catch up with us when we're doing it. But yeah, it's a 1982 film, Ridley Scott. But this one is a little different than Legend, and still though an electronic score. So, all right, folks. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We are going to sign off with. I think we're going to dispense with the PSAs and just do a good old fashioned sign off. So the stage will slowly be clear.
Water. Just so many ways to enjoy it. Almost everyone swims through it, rides on it, or plays around it. It's fun. But accidents do happen. Many could be avoided. Still, others kept harmless. If people were safety-minded. Safety means having the right equipment and skills. Your Red Cross chapter can help with information and instruction. So give them a call and be safe.
This weekend on The Late Show, an attack of gnawing terror. 11:30 Saturday, Willard rules a powerful rat army.
You made me hate myself. Well, I like myself now. Tear 'em up!
Saturday, 11:30 Sunday, the rats are hungry again.
I want every train in this city exempt.
1,150 miles of pipe?
Every inch of it. Where Willard ended, Ben begins. Willard and Ben, two gnawing terrors on Channel 4 beginning at 11:30 on The Late Show.
And one of the most important things I learned is you don't become a star overnight. It really takes a lot of hard work to get there. Now what I want to do, Ronnie, is give you a few tips on defense. Now you're going to run a sweep around me and I'm going to try to stop you. You watch how I stop you.
He's no Larry Zonka, but he's a terrific big brother.
How did he do that?
Share yourself with a kid. Share yourself with a kid.
On Thursday, November 13th, CBS proudly presents a major motion picture event. Sylvester Stallone as the fighter whose whole life was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot. Talia Shire as the woman who loved him and believed in him. Winner of 3 Academy Awards. Rocky. Thursday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Tomorrow on CBS.
This concludes another day of programming on Channel 4. Before signing off, we'd like to invite you to start every day with WTVJ and enjoy a world of entertainment coming your way over Florida's pioneer television station, WTVJ, Channel 4, Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.